Happy Friday, FCA family. This is your 2-minute drill for today. And our theme this week is refuge. And as I was thinking about refuge, I tend to think of the external things, the things around me. Maybe it's the pressures, the fears, the just the issues, kind of that of everyday life that are kind of external. And maybe it's pain, maybe it's whatever it is. I tend to go there with my thinking when I think of taking refuge in God. I can take refuge from those things and rest in Him, and that's all true, and super thankful for that. But I think probably the greater need is that I need to take refuge in God from the internal things, the things going on inside of me, and the flesh and the sin that's just always there, and that I'm always battling. I need to take refuge in Christ in the midst of those things. And there's a verse in Romans 8:1 that says, "There is therefore now no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus." And I love that verse. It's a great reminder that if you're in Christ, if you've placed your faith and your trust in Jesus and His death on the cross for you, and if you've done all that, if you've made that commitment, there is no longer any condemnation. The Bible is very clear that apart from Christ, and if we die in our sin, that we're separated from God, we're condemned to an eternity of separation in hell apart from Him. And because He's a righteous judge, and He's going to be a good judge, and He's going to pronounce a sentence that fits the crime, and we're all guilty. And so apart from Christ, we're condemned. But in Christ, and when we put our faith in Him, that there is no condemnation for that sin. And what an incredible truth that Christ took on the penalty, and He took on the wrath and the punishment of God at the cross, and He absorbed all that punishment, all that wrath for sin at the cross. And so let's be reminded of that today. The fact that in the midst of the internal struggles, and maybe even today, there's something that you just that's got you frustrated, that's got you discouraged, some kind of a sin issue, or just something that just keeps nagging. Just want to encourage you. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep battling against that sin, and ultimately remembering that sin no longer condemns us. If you're in Christ, there's been forgiveness, and there's been a removal of that penalty, and so we're not condemned, and we have freedom, and we have peace, knowing that Christ has taken away that condemnation. So we can take refuge in God in the midst of the things around us that are giving us problems, but we can also take refuge in God in the midst of the greatest problem, which is the sin that's inside of us. So hopefully this week you've been encouraged by these 2-minute drills. If you have not yet, go to our FCA Nebraska YouTube channel and click the subscribe button. And we're going to be doing these each weekday throughout the summer. So hopefully you tune in, and these would be great reminders for you as you continue to seek God and walk closer to Him. So that's it for today. Have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks.